Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Film Angle, or should I say, the Ghibli Angle, a series that's been a while since we've touched upon it. Distractions, you know the spiel. We talk about it. We apologize every episode. But basically, it's films of Studio Ghibli, Miyazaki, Takahata, all the other guys that come in and out of the picture. And this is the next film on the list, Whisper of the Heart, which is a film that I've been really excited to watch with you, Alex, for quite a long time because it's a film that I would put up there at the upper echelons of what I think makes a great Ghibli film. But I understand that it's a completely anecdotal, experiential thing that's bespoke to me that I really enjoyed this film, and a lot of people I don't think would put this in their top tier. So I'm really excited today to explore whether the things that touch me about this movie kind of feel the same way towards you.
If they touched me as well. If I was
touched you as well, yeah.
If I was touched. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. We should say we've actually we saw this film twice.
Yes.
This has been the nature of things, as you can see. You know, if you're an avid listener to the Film Angle, we have been taking a few more breaks than usual this year. Lots of stuff going on. And it also doesn't help. There's been heat waves, which actually makes it very difficult to podcast.
Yes.
We're in a new location today to try and sort out some of that. Some of the sound. There's been a couple of sound issues in the episodes as well. We're trying to figure it out.
Yes.
So it's all new to us. But yeah, we're having an issue. And also, the Odyssey. I know this is now a tangent, but yeah, many of you are probably wondering, where's your Odyssey review?
Yeah.
Maybe many of you are not. But we couldn't get tickets to the IMAX one. We weren't on it. We weren't on the ball, and it took a while. It's coming. We've got tickets for Wednesday. So the following week, all things good, we should have an Odyssey review.
My parents, who go to the cinema once, maybe every 2 years, have got to see the Odyssey in IMAX before I did. So, there's something ridiculously going wrong here. They had a good time, by the way. Yeah. So, really looking forward to catching up with those things. But yeah, this is interesting because I feel like we have the most jurisdiction to say more about this film because it's the only one that we've watched both the sub and the dub in preparation for the episode.
Yes, when we had that giant break, we had an idea to get this episode out, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And it just didn't work out, but we watched it, and then we spent so long between watching it and then recording it that we're like, we need to watch this again.
Yeah.
For the audio viewer, by the way, if you can hear a panty dog, we've got Cody in the screen right now. That's one of the benefits of being in this new location is we get Cody the golden retriever to join us every now and then when he fancies being the third member of the Film Angle. But here he is. Whisper of the Heart. You've seen it twice as well, mate. What do you think?
He was
very good.
He was quite distracted during it. Yeah. He was on his phone just looking at reels and stuff. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Chris, I know that this is one of your favorites. This is a comfort film for you. 100%. So
why?
Yeah, why? And tell us a little bit more about the film and why I guess connects with you in a way. Why
does any Ghibli film connect with somebody specifically? And I always think it is a time and place thing because there's a real, we've got to this sort of stage now, and I think you might understand yourself, where the quality is more or less always there. You know, the craftsmanship cannot really be negotiated in terms of this is doing this badly, this is badly drawn, this is badly directed. It's not saying the things it wants to say. So you kind of then have 30 plus movie catalog where you're just going to pick the ones that speak to you the most. And this film kind of came to me at a time and place where I was transcending between adolescence and adulthood. And perhaps maybe I wasn't paying attention or focusing on study and school as much as I should have been, or as much as my potential would have led me to believe. So I really identify with the main character, Shizuku, who is somebody who is very clever, has a lot of potential, loves to read books, but is distracted by the whimsies and the head in the cloud aspects of her life that kind of present themselves to her. And the film has a really great ethic and ethos about how to manage that as a young person and how to take your raw abilities and push forward with yourself and find your dreams and go towards it and be brave. And it's just, it's both comforting and upsetting to me because it feels like a film I would have really would have been good for me if I was, say, 15 years old and not 19 years old watching.
Yeah, I was about to say, when was it? It was 19 then that you,
But
yeah.
that precipice of jumping over into adulthood completely, and yeah, and that just really spoke to me, and it's also a very great looking movie. It's a gorgeous film, some interesting lore behind it, great music, and the same thing with Only Yesterday. I love those urban spaces and trying to bring the beauty out of those urban spaces, and making me really want to like yearn for, I guess, a sort of nostalgic look at a summer childhood and how those spaces look. So yeah, it's a really lived in film that is quite slight and quite low stakes from the outlook looking in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's not like a lot that goes on in terms of plot or major things or upsetting things happen in this film, but it's a real pleasure to be around its presence for the whole time, and that's why I keep going back to it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that. And I think I did connect to the kind of creative side of Shizuko.
Yeah. That's
And like that latter half of the story where she's writing her book and kind of forgetting about her studies and stuff like that. I'm not saying I was exactly the same, but like I've had creative endeavors and I have creative endeavors that like I really want to get back into, writing being one of them. And like those kind of lessons from the elderly man, the granddad, you know, like, you know, about like finding the gems in the rock and all this kind of stuff. Like those lessons do hit home, and I find myself a lot of the time like now I really want to write and I'm overthinking it all the time. I need to just like sit down and do it. But that's just, yeah, so more of a personal thing, I guess. But like I was definitely connecting to that element of the story more. I don't think I love this as much as you do, but I think that might be down to like how we've been watching these films. And I love the urban cityscapes. When Ghibli goes less fantasy and more real life, I don't know, it really surprises me. I love that. And I would say I'm definitely more fond of this film on the second watch than the first watch. On the first watch, I did find it a bit slow and a bit boring.
Okay.
So if I go from my first watch kind of ideas, looks great, story was maybe a little too slight for me, and there were elements of it which I felt had been done better in other Ghibli films.
Okay.
And this might be blasphemy, but I thought Ocean Waves did the young relationship stuff better.
I really like Ocean Waves as well.
We could disagree.
I'm happy to disagree. I really like Ocean Waves as well, and I always see tier lists, and you know, it's Ghibli is very highly canonized by people all over the internet, and Ocean Waves very frequently is always on the bottom run, bar no list.
Yeah.
But I think you and I had a really great conversation about that. Go back and listen to the episode or watch the episode. But we both came to a place like, this is a lot better than people give it credit for. But I do feel like this is like a category of prestige above it in terms of craft and its nuance in telling that sort of story a little bit more, even though I found that a great film too.
Yes, yeah, no, I get that. And then I think as well, like Only Yesterday, which obviously
like, you know,
obviously proved to be one of my favorite Ghibli films so far, and again a double watch, one of the only double watches.
Yeah, and that was off your own back.
That was off my own back.
Yeah,
and yeah, I feel like some of the younger, when you're back in the past with that character in Only Yesterday, the kind of childhood memories, storylines, some of the, and I appreciate those are more like vignettes, whereas this is more just her childhood, you know, playing out over a month or two. Yeah, I found like I don't know, I was just more enthralled by those elements. Maybe it's Shizuko. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe I'm not as keen on her character. I don't know.
She's a little bit corny, but I admire the film for letting her be corny.
Yeah, and I love the music in this film. The music, and I know it's riffing off of Country Road, and that's like a big thematic element of it,
but
which we should probably talk about because it's quite a big thematic element, and it's interesting how that one song becomes like a through line throughout the whole piece and creates like the most memorable scene. But yeah, that was my first watch. I thought it, and final kind of like main criticism of like why I was finding it like not my favorite Ghibli film was I thought it was too long. I thought 2 hours was just touching the tip of that. Second watch we put the dub on. I am finding actually, and I'm not going to be doing. I'm not saying I'm going to go dub from here on out, but when I'm rewatching these films, I'm enjoying the dub, and there's something that gets lost in the subtitled version sometimes, and it's like intonation, context, connotation,
100%.
and yeah, I was picking up on things that I missed in the subbed version. Like, what's the guy?
Keiji Amasawa.
Keiji Amasawa.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was like that much of a dick with what he was saying.
Because his intonations in the sub are more neutral.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, to a Western ear anyway.
And I thought Shizuko was kind of like overreacting in a way.
Yeah.
But when I watched the dub, I was like, this guy is a dick.
In the teenage boy sense, yeah.
Yeah, like it's obviously
it's all play and yeah.
But there's even a bit when I think it's after they've played the song, she says something a bit corny or a bit weird, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like,
you stupid girl. Yeah,
chill out, man.
Yeah, he is. His character maybe comes to light a lot more, 3-dimensionally whenever you're watching the dub, because he is somebody who is obsessed with his own ambition. His own ambition to kind of carry on the lineage of his family as violin makers, and he wants to become, from a very young age. He knew what to do. I think we have that in our own personal lives too, where we go through school and there's always those couple of like A-star students or heroes know what they're doing. They're straight on their homework diary as soon as they're back home from school, and they just have different sort of ways of seeing the world at that young age. And Shizuku just really bounces off of that, and that rubs off on her. And it's also, the movie is also kind of having a little bit of a conversation with being around ambitious people is actually quite good for you as well.
Yeah, it's because it's about inspiration as well, isn't it? And it is about the creative process, and I particularly like that in the second half of the book, because she's seen this statue, this baron, this cat statue.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it looks ugly.
It's very
how anybody was inspired by that, I don't know.
It's like it's a very well crafted piece of statue, but it's kitschy. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have it in my house.
Yeah. But, like in the grandfather's little shop with his cuckoo clock.
And there's a story.
It's
and she's inspired by that. She's inspired by the character of this of the Baron, and how she's kind of like imagined him to be if he wasn't a statue, I guess.
She's completely head in the clouds. Yeah.
Then she's inspired by Amasawa's kind of, her kind of fling with him in a sense. And and I like the fact that she goes straight to the library and she's looking up folklore, and she's trying to weave this story that plays in on like Japanese folklore, which is what Ghibli does anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
Like she's bringing in history and
listen, you can see the books that she's taking out on the mythology of what she's writing, which is really cool. I think anybody should write a book on something, should base it like that. And
and the fact that she's a big reader and she's picking from all these influences. I just really liked how that kind of portrayed that process and how her mind was working. And there's part of you watching the film where you're like, well, now I kind of want to read the story. I get the sense that it could be really cool,
Yeah.
And no, so I love that. Just make sure you stay at school, kids.
Yeah, it's also just kind of scary watching too, because you feel like the passage of time, like the pressure of exams in the background, and some friends are like focusing on boys and girls and like a relationship. Some are like going home just studying, and there's like how many distractions there are for a young person, how many different avenues a young person can go that can really determines their life. Like I think her best friend says like, her sister says, if you pass or fail these high school entrance exams, it will literally pave the way for your life. And how different cultures, Western or Eastern, put an emphasis on children, of how important, like they're literally, it could be ruining their lives at the age of 16. How scary, and how, is that, I don't know if the film's having a conversation whether that's right or wrong, but something when you watch it, you're like, it's hard to be a teenager.
Yeah, they do lump the pressure on you at schools.
Yeah, I remember that. Northern Ireland, I don't know.
I wonder in Japanese culture, specifically in the era of this film, how much that was true, or how much that might be kind of similar to our culture, where the pressure is on and you're like, I have to decide now what I want to do with the rest of your life. But they're like, actually, you don't. Like,
no. I think it comes from worry. it's very interesting, her relationship with her parents, and I love the apartment. I
Mm.
love the apartment that they live in. That's kind of the first interior location we get this film. It's such a lived-in space. It's almost like it's it's a very small place. It's almost like a two-bed apartment basically,
Yeah.
and it's filled with books. You can tell the parents, the whole family are big into reading and writing. Creatives or very practical people. The mum's doing her own degree on the side, so she's in and out like a conveyor belt all the time, and the dad works at the library too. So it's this interesting family dynamic of hard workers, where it's kind of displaying this is the right stuff to do, Shizuku, but also mum and dad are catching up because they weren't working as hard when they were younger too. So they're kind
Yeah.
of there's a sort of multi influence in the household, and I really like their attitude to whenever she wants to write a book, and the exams are coming up, and the trust that her dad has in her. Well, if you think it's the right thing to do, I want you to learn life your own way. Yeah, you go ahead and write this book, but if it doesn't work out, learn from that also. I don't know if most parents would be like that, but it is very fascinating. I don't know what lessons to take from that.
Mm.
Do you think that's a good thing? Like trusting your children to do the best thing for them, or should you be the worried parent and like be
Yeah,
like, no, you need to knuckle down here?
it's difficult to know because, yeah, I guess like if I was to speak about my own parents, like they let me do I say they let me, like it was obviously my choice at this point, but to do a film degree, I there were people on that course whose parents were like, we want you to, you need something else to fall back on just in case, and that makes sense because it's such a difficult industry to get into, and
Yeah,
like, proof's in the pudding. I'm not in the film industry. I'm adjacent to it with a podcast,
yeah.
but like we're not making money from the podcast. It's not a job, it's a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent a lot of money to study what is essentially become a hobby. But there's a lot of life lessons in uni as well. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. And transferable skills. I now do marketing. I think there's something there. Um, I'm having an existential crisis. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, should parents? But I think maybe the proof is here that like I was still able to land on my feet despite maybe not being now in the film industry. So I think parents should trust their kids, but I think there's probably an element of like your own child as well, and if they're gonna if you drop them they'll land on their feet.
I think when someone's so determined to do something, I think it's always best to always let a person scratch an itch, or else that builds resentment. I think if you wag the finger and be like, no, you can't do this, I don't think that's good for anybody.
No.
So yeah, it's some really interesting lessons to learn from that. Yeah, it's a really difficult film to talk about because it's a film of very little specifics in terms of very little dramatic stake. There's very little dramatically going on. It is just such a lovely, pleasant film, and that's what really speaks about it to me, is that they can find so much substance and beauty within something that's 2 hours long but not about a lot. It's quite contemplative. And coming from a filmmaker who was around like 50 at the time, I just find it very fascinating that these sort of older men, these artistic men that kind of really understand young people, even from like a 1990s lens, when these guys kind of grew up in like the 50s and the 60s and completely different sort of post-war era.
But it's very collaborative, isn't it? As well, because there's Mubi did a really good podcast episode on this where
they focused on
the song essentially,
yeah, exactly,
and how that came to be. But you hear about the fact that it was like the director's daughter,
yeah,
or niece or something like that who came up with the lyrics for the alternate version of Country Road, and actually the original alternate version of Country Road, the one that's considered very cheesy, the Concrete Road song. That was written by Miyazaki himself, and was kind of they kind of put it in there as like a bit of a joke. Or like they make fun of it in a nice way. I actually think it's I think it's like cheesy, but like it's fun, and it succinctly like his ideas on the environment are like fully there.
Yeah.
I love it. Concrete Roads. I think it's great, personally.
Yeah, and it's yeah, I like it. I like it too. It's like the one you remember more.
Yeah.
But it's like the precocious nature of the real life daughter at the time, and she wasn't really, that knowledgeable about the film industry, or like she doesn't hold Miyazaki as a deity as much as a lot of people do now. But I think he asked her for her opinion, and she said it was terrible.
Yeah.
And he just replied by saying, "Yeah, I agree." So I do. You gain a little bit of respect for him in that sort of point of view. Like, kind of, I'm good at this thing, but I'm not good at this.
Well, he's a perfectionist, isn't he? And I think,
yeah,
I don't think that he would go about, and he does it with so many young characters in his films. Like, they are based on people he knows, his nieces and nephews, his grandchildren, and
Chihiro in Spirited Away was based off a granddaughter's friend that stayed with them for a while, and he found her annoying, so he based the character off of her.
Yeah, it's not always sweet, I guess.
Yeah, but it's just like even the movements. I think about like, I know I don't want to go all the way to Spirited Away, but I think about like the physicality of like the little children, that they just get so right, like the way they walk or run, or just sort of body language is so well there. Another thing I guess we were talking about in this film is that the music is beautiful, not just the country road stuff. Background music is great, but there's a lot of absence of soundtrack too, and that was something that we kind of enjoyed too. Was there are a lot of moments of silence, a lot of moments of ponder, but there's just like birds chirping very faintly in the background, the sound of crickets, the sort of like real mix of concrete jungle mixed with like it's a real sort of gardeny sort of green space area of Tokyo as well.
It's like silence isn't actually silence, and it really knows how to create like a 3D soundscape of that, to the point where it's like you didn't need to put this effort in, right? Like you didn't need to go this hard on the sound design.
Yeah. This is a nostalgic film, and the film
is very chill.
The film's never talking about the landscape.
No,
like never actually actively talking about the landscape, but the camera is trying to always talk to you about the landscape.
Yeah,
there are so many pans like upwards where Shizuku's just like admiring the place that she lives. Like, she's in love with the place that she lives, like riding the train, seeing the glare of the sun bounce off like the lampposts. Right? Yeah. There's a lot of romanticism about where they live, and it feels like you're in a real life location. It really does, and I think it was based on a lot of real, the real sort of area geography of like that part of Tokyo, and it's like it's really cool. It's like these movies just make you want to go visit these places and like see if it really is. And it's funny, you listen back to some interviews and they're like, yeah, we toned it up, like the sun doesn't really look like that in this location, but I'm creating what it feels like, what the memory of what living here feels like. And it is fascinating. I love the little cat. I love not the statue cat. I love the little cat that she follows home, and she gets kind of stuck on a side quest where she sees a cat on the train, and follows it all the way out of the subway, up the hills into the kind of the fancy part of town, and realizes this 20-minute journey this cat takes every day just to like punish a dog and wag its tail and tease it. Which is really cool. That I've never seen a cat more understood in a film before, because that's what cats are like. They are great, but they are, they're sly.
It's a sweet film, I think, and it is sleepy. Both times we did watch it quite late, so maybe that's part of the problem. I do think it stands. I do think the 2-hour mark
is long.
Just a little too long for me.
It's enjoying itself, isn't it?
Yeah. It's vibey. It's a very vibey film. I can see why you might chuck this on often and then fall asleep to it.
Yes.
And that's not a disservice to it, because it's so vibey. But yeah, it's upper mid-tier Ghibli for me.
That's better than I actually expected from you.
Yeah, I think first time I watched it, I rated it on Letterboxd 3 stars. I would probably push it to a 3.5. After the second watch.
Amazing, we won.
Yeah, I appreciate for yourself it's a 5-star film, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think it's
you watched 2 5-star films yesterday. Look at you.
I know one of those you would give 5 stars to as well. But yeah, like there's something about it. there are sometimes those little films that are just so aesthetically ingrained under my memory, and I just caught me at the right time. I think this is a great film if you're a teenager.
Mm.
I
Mm.
do think you'll resonate more with it. It's harder, I think, even for me rewatching it. I still holding on to those feelings I had watching it the first time, but I'm not resonating with that character nearly as much as I did 10 years ago.
Well, that's good.
Which is good.
I hope.
Yeah, no, that is good. But I did sort of feel like I envied her journey at the first time I watched this,
Yeah.
and
I wish I could just sit down and write.
just yeah,
That's
have the
what
time.
I
Have
need
the
to do.
time to do it.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah, so true.
yeah,
We had so much time as younger, I guess like early to late teens, even in my early 20s where I could have done more creatively, but
yeah.
and I probably did more creatively. Like I was making short films and I was writing screenplays. So
Mhm.
that's good, but like I could have done more again, but
Do you know what these films are really great for, especially ones about young people? I think they're really good, almost textbook to being a future parent, because I observe this and I kind of think of her, Shizuku, and I'm like, I really do actually want to indulge in my kid, and I actually do want to indulge in whatever child, if I have a child in the future, their fantasies a little bit more. I understand there
yeah.
are boundaries, but I do feel like a lot of people struggle to let themselves go and find it almost cringy or a little bit too unpractical to like give in to their kids' fancies a little bit too much, that it's almost embarrassing for them to kind of
Yes.
in case this doesn't work. But I do feel like every person should be fully explored as early as possible and find
Yeah.
who they are.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got pretty good lessons from that actually.
Yeah.
I think
Like how you might raise your kids.
how I might
if you
raise
ever
my
have them one
kids and
day,
just
yeah.
just try to understand them a little bit more. And I think that's really good. I think you can see a lot of yourself in these films. Because until you talk to other people, until you watch movies, or you just think your own experience of life is your own experience.
Yeah.
And oh, maybe I should grow up in other people, but no, other people everyone has their head in the clouds up until a point, until something snaps them out of it, and you need to find what you're into to get you out of that bubble. So yeah, the earlier you can find that out, the better. So that's like a really cool lesson I got from this movie.
Yeah, I think that's right. I will definitely cater, to the plights of my children, whatever they wish to do.
Yeah.
Even if it be like a little food reviewer
In Western Superman. Yeah, unless it's something like really negative and violent, like I want to be like
What if they want to be Lights Camera Jackson?
Well, that's a product of bad parenting. That's the product of somebody who was thrust upon them.
We're coming for Lights Camera Jackson.
And his legions.
Very if you're in the film world, you probably remember Lights Camera Jackson. He's still going.
He's still going. Yeah.
He's still going. Very precocious young film reviewer.
Prolific as well.
Prolific at the time, yeah. And it was kind of like cute and funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that anyway.
Be careful.
Search him up if you want.
Like that's the thing. It's just like I'm just so scared of having a child. There's just so many things that can happen, so many variables.
Yeah.
But no, I love this movie where the credits roll and there's like we get like so many different versions of Country Roads in this movie, and I'm like, I just want to sit here and just like chill, and like it's got a really great sort of closing credits where it doesn't go to black screen, it just goes to like a bridge, and we get all of the characters from the film kind of pop up and have like a little conclusion moment together where like it's Shizuku and Seiji walking off together. It's her best friend and that guy. They kind of have a little cuddle at one moment, and the cat comes along and it's like you get all this little like wave goodbye to all the characters.
Why?
No, we didn't see that last night.
Oh, did we not?
Yeah.
I was about to say.
I think you're tired. Yeah.
I was thinking. I don't remember this.
If you watch that last image, your stuff.
Did I just like turn it off after the credits, or did we just start chatting?
I think we started talking after 15 seconds, and then we turned it off. But
sorry.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I was like, what the? I don't remember this.
But that's the thing, though. It's like, that's the thing about Ghibli films. It's not always about what's in the text and what's coming out of people's mouths. It's the things. It's like she's following the cat home, and she goes up this little gap between two concrete walls up a hill, and it's just like capturing that little adventure that a child has when they go through shortcuts and there's a Coke bottle on the floor, and it's like there's something very vivid and very accurate about those memories. Yeah, I just really like the attention to detail. It's just it always flabbergasts me every time, and it really it's what makes these films, animated movies, into something that's really special. Something that Disney films just don't have. I love old Disney movies for what they are, but they're just a completely different thing.
They don't take their time, I guess, like these kind of films do. And the attention to detail to those cityscapes is incredible. I'd love a print, I think, of a Tokyo, a Ghibli Tokyo that isn't been made by AI. Because I did look into it, but all of it's like pretend Ghibli. It's been very AI heavy. I really do like it. Do we, like, this is kind of jumping ahead a bit, but like, do we get to return to a cityscape like this going forward? I remember looking at like what's ahead, and I feel like we start maybe going down a bit more fantastical routes now. Like fantasy takes over more than not.
Well, certainly, like Miyazaki, although he is about to retire for the first time, sort of in the late 90s, he does come back quite often. And his films are subsequently just very good. We start to transcend into the Western market, post kind of entering into the Academy Awards and everything with Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke. So that does kind of overtake the vision a little bit more. But there are types of films that go back into the cityscape, and you will see a little bit more of that. Some that go back into just the countryside. And don't explore much of fantasy too. We're just enjoying Japanese countryside a little bit more too.
I know we're getting some like more like stylized pieces as well.
Yeah, you're really getting the more into the 2000s. Every film feels very different. Feels very different. I think the 90s and the 80s, there's a very comforting, safe, sometimes difficult routes it goes down. We're just telling more professional, like adult stories. But yeah, we're getting full like budget and flexing our creative muscles.
Well, we jumped ahead with Princess Mononoke, didn't we? Because that was in IMAX at the time, and I remember thinking like, bloody hell, this is like a step up in like what we're doing, and there's a little bit of 3D in here and everything.
Yeah.
So like,
Howl's Moving Castle's got a lot of 3D. Involved.
Still a way up, but you can introduce me to the next film at the end, I guess.
Yeah, which I no idea what you're gonna think of that one. Being a plot person, we'll see.
We'll see.
This is
we'll get there in a minute. Get there in a minute.
But I will say it's one of Lauren's favorites.
Producer Lauren. Gotcha.
Okay. Ghibli fun, Ghibli trivia, whatever we call this section.
Yeah.
We always do something a little silly.
Let's do it.
We don't really have a quiz or anything this round. I thought potentially we could, on the fly, make our own lyrics to Country Road.
This will be on the fly, I actually promise.
I will promise.
What can we do film angle wise? Like, so obviously in the film, They introduce the Country Road song, and they have very many iterations of it. Where is she writing it for homework or for fun? I can't remember exactly. She is doing it for fun.
And showing off to her friends. It's something that she's like, oh, what a great writer you are, Shizuku, and just sort of like her friends very much admire her for writing.
And she's always writing it from like very personal places, so it's like,
it's like kids in school when they like write songs.
Like when you did it for like science, you were like, oxygen, mix it with hydrogen.
Yeah, that too. But I'm thinking like at the playground, where like I remember seeing girls in school just like we're gonna be pop stars. And like this is our song. They'll all form a girl band, and the girl band disbands after a week.
I had a band, a pretend band at school called Muck. And we wrote a song called Constipated. Not the Weird Al one, but it went constipated, it's when you're going to the loo and you really need a poo, you're constipated.
That's it.
Yeah,
but it was more screamy.
There was probably more to it.
You actually practiced this with people.
Yes. And wrote down lyrics.
And anybody
made an album cover. No. Even when I did like talent shows at school, and like me and a friend, we would like we would like mime to Busted on the stage, and we'd have guitars, but we'd pretend to play them. We'd just like jump up and down with spiky hair, and we'd be like, "Been to the
Yeah, that you actually got to perform that in a talent show
yeah.
with like hundreds of people.
Oh, not constipated. No.
No, I mean like even that.
Yeah, just jump up and down singing a
Our,
Busted.
our school would not have let you.
Oh, really?
Oh no, you
Oh,
actually
shit. You had to have a talent.
You actually had to be like like
Yeah, but the you know, like.
which is good. No, I like that.
But,
I like that
but it
more.
is talented. How many people have now become like TikTok stars from lip syncing to songs on TikTok? So actually, I was bridging the way for those people. TikTok people I walked so the TikTok people could run.
Yeah, they saw you. Everyone was in that room.
Ridiculous. Anyway, so let's not make constipated. It's when you go into the loo and you really need a poo.
Lyrics.
Making
lyrics for songs
lyrics
that have already been perfected.
You just woke my dog up from a sleep.
Cody, my dog.
All good, bud.
Act like I don't know him. We're best friends.
This is my dog. All right, film angle. So hum the lines for me. I want some inspiration. Just hum the lyrics or the melody.
Okay. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Bum bum bum.
Sitting here with my podcast friend Chris.
Oh, Chris.
We are reviewing Whisper of the Heart. It's getting off track, but it's a lot of fun.
Cuckoo clocks and fat cats. Walking in the sun.
Country roads take me home to the place.
Just do the little chorus.
Yeah, what up? I belong West Virginia. Mountain Mama.
Podcasts with my friend Alex. Oh dear, never do that again.
There we go.
That's what happens when you don't write a quiz, guys.
Yeah, we didn't have any trivia this week, but I think I think
trivia was the friends we made along the way.
The fun section still holds, I think, right?
Yeah, it was fun. That
Fun
was
section still holds.
Bite size.
I hope you.
People were just like, "Oh, it's fucking lazy."
Yeah, I'm canceling. I'm unsubscribing.
Yeah, like this was like if we ever were, if we were like a big podcast, whatever, like these sorts of Ghibli episodes where these types of films, regardless of how much you love them, it's really hard when you love something too, because it's quite hard to articulate sometimes.
Yeah.
But this would always be like a sort of a Patreon-y sort of movie, because there's just little to talk about in terms of like the sheer content. If you got the script out and you read through it, it's not its defining feature. It's completely in the presentation and its sense of capturing the place and what it's like to be a teenager in mid-90s in that section of Tokyo. It's a very specific thing.
Very specific.
And but I feel transported when I visit it every time, and I love it in the background. It's super, I don't want to use the C word, but it is.
Don't say the C word, we're going to be banned.
Cozy. Not the one you were thinking of. But it is super cozy, and I love spending time with it. I will put it on 100 more times whenever I need something in the background, if I need to do studying or reading or working. That's low effort. So yeah, and that's sometimes like that's as good a reason to love a movie as ever.
Yeah, I've seen it twice. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean like people are like Speed Racer 5 stars, but like you're not breaking Speed Racer down into little metatextual pieces, are you?
I've not seen Speed Racer.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. It's like I love it because it's stupid at the end, But we said a little bit more than that today. But I love it. It's a great film. Thank you for taking the time to watch it twice, Alex.
Yep.
Next time.
Yes. And these Ghibli episodes are always shorter anyway, aren't they? Like they are our little mini episodes.
Next time we have a Isao Takahata film.
My favorite.
Again, your favorite. Yeah, I mean, pound for pound, your favorite filmmaker in Ghibli, definitely.
Yeah, I would say so.
But maybe this one might turn the tide for you. I'm hoping good things though. I've only seen this one once, but I really liked it. Lauren loves this one. It is Producer Lauren loves this one. It is called My Neighbors, the Yamadas, and it is very much a departure for Takahata. It's not like a fully, in-depth, heartbreaking narrative about somebody or a tragedy. This is an anthology film, little vignettes about this series called My Neighbors the Yamadas, which started off as a newspaper strip comic.
Oh, so it's based on something then. Interesting.
It is based on a very long-standing comic strip.
I don't know why I'm surprised. They've based it on a few like different things now, and they like mangas and stuff. But yeah, sorry.
Like Japanese media culture is so dense; it's probably denser than our own.
Yeah,
and it's hard to know about all these things, and they all last for like 50. They're still going, these things compared to these days. So in the vein of the Western equivalent is like Garfield and like Peanuts and like even The Simpsons. It's very much like that type of thing, but in the Japanese setting, where it's about this kind of dysfunctional Japanese family and their day-to-day trials and tribulations, and it's very much comedic.
Gotcha.
And so you're following vignette to vignette. They're like 10 minutes a piece,
Mm.
and it's very sweet, and it does build to something.
Yeah.
So it's not wasted time. I really enjoy this. It's got a very different art style than
I never said it was a waste of time.
No, but what I'm saying is like
It's not 2 hours though, is it?
it's like an hour and a half. Remember?
I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't want you going into it thinking that this is just going to be cute and there's nothing going to be at the end of this for me.
Well, I think after Pompoko, I know that with Takahata.
But this is very much him being like, okay, I'm going to not be intense for a couple of years and make something that's really nice and people can enjoy. So, very entertaining movie. So hopefully you enjoy it.
Oh, looking forward to it.
Again, very different sub to dub because of those Japanese cultural differences.
Yeah.
So,
I do feel I need to watch these subbed first, though, right?
Yeah.
I know there's one coming up where you were like, maybe you should watch the dubbed.
Mm-hmm.
Miyazaki has gone on record and said that he wants people to watch the dubs over.
He wants people to enjoy the animation.
Yeah, and he knows there's that cultural thing that you lose. Like they're supposed to be universal, not I guess specific to Japan most of the time.
Well, Spirited Away though, it's about they're gods. There's something that there's some things that get lost in the soup. But you're watching something like Ponyo later on. I think you can get away with a dub. But it seems like really scapegoaty to keep going like, oh, this one you can, and it feels like it's my opinion, and it is just my opinion at the end of the day. So you're better just watching it the original way, and if it doesn't work for you and your people still really like it, it's worth checking out the dub too.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I will I will watch that with great keen eyes.
Yes,
I got a new projector now. It's really nice. So even nicer quality up in bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you say it like
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy. Yeah.
Bed.
We love bed.
We love bed. Let's go to bed.
No?
Yeah.
It is 4. It's 20 past 6. Okay, it's bedtime. Yeah.
Solid.
We're gonna have our dinner and go to bed. But
nice one.
Thank you guys very much for listening to another episode of The Film Angle, and this week, The Ghibli Angle. If you like us, if you like the podcast, feel free to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts or watch us. Thank you very much for listening. Alex?
Yep. We have our next 2 cinema trips booked, so we should be getting some reviews out.
Big ones.
In the next couple of weeks. The Odyssey.
And
Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I'm very excited for.
I
But I don't want to say I'm more excited than the Odyssey.
You are. You're Spider-Man.
I know the Odyssey's gonna be better, but
I know. Yeah, but how do you know? I mean,
from a filmmaking point of view.
But you might like Spider-Man more, and that's and if it's a great Spider-Man.
Everybody knows I'm a Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I think they seem to have actually put some effort into this one.
Of all the superhero movies franchises, it's not a bad one to be into.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got those big movies to talk about. We'll have a lot more. There's a lot to talk about, so look forward to that.
Yeah, Tom Holland, Zendaya, John Bernthal, double bill.
It's not really. Oh yeah, it is. Wow. God, we need to diversify.
Getting busy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
Okay,
guys. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.